Hello everyone, so picking off where we last were, kind of, because obviously you can see I am not in snowy Coarthus. Anyhow, so the reason why I'm standing here is because I spotted a quest here. And apparently it is probably for the extreme version of the striking tree. Judgment, bolts, and lightning. Lieutenant Scarlet would ask your aid in investigating the resurgence of a primal. Well, if it isn't the Slayer of Ramuh, come to see me in the flesh, how fortunate that you should happen by. I was in fact on the verge of sending a runner to track you down. We've had some troubling news from the Sylphs of Little Solus. It appears that the Lord 11 walks the Twelveswood again. From what I understand of the Elder Seedseer's explanation, your last encounter with the Primal was a relatively peaceful affair. There was a battle, aye, but one for which Ramuh did not begrudge your victory. Why then has he returned to the forest? 'Tis you, Celebryn, whom fate has chosen to uncover the answer to that question. It seems that Frixio, the Sylph Elder, would discuss the matter with you personally. Speak first with Delexia in Little Solus, and she will announce your arrival to their leader. Ah, and I would also consider it a favor if you could pass along aught you learned to the Scions. As I understand it, Archon Uriange is a keen scholar in the field of all matters primal. Pray make your final report to him. I like how it kind of summarizes that. So yes, obviously we're going to do this quickly, and then I'm going to go ahead and do the Snowcloak dungeon. Alexia. Walking One is here. Has Walking One heard of Lord Ramuh's return? Then this one does not need to explain. Walking One should wait here while this one fetches Elder One. Walking One is most welcome to these ones' home. The gentle sighs of winds and trees and brooks told these ones of Walking One's peaceful words with Lord Ramuh. These ones also heard that Thunderous One challenged Walking One to battle. This one is certain that Lord Ramuh was pleased with Walking One's strength. And such strength Walking One has. Arrow-shooting ones often tell grand tales of Walking One, and these ones are glad to call Walking One friend. But this one must warn Walking One. Touched ones have summoned Lord Ramuh once more, and this time with an offering of many, many, many more crystals. This one does not think Thunderous One means to bring judgment to Gridania. After all, Lord Ramuh made a special promise to Walking One. It is the intentions of Touched One that concern this one. Touched Ones yet act in fear, and in hate. Even should Lord Ramuh ignore Touched Ones' destructive wishes, his presence alone drains the land of Aether. It is not just Gridania, but the entire realm that Thunderous One threatens. Life will seep from the soil, crops will wither and die, then though Lord Ramuh will it otherwise, Walking Ones will go to war over what remains. This one begs brave and courageous one to fight one again. Touched Ones must understand that summoning Thunderous One is futile, that Thunderous One respects the strength of Walking One. Thank you. This one Walking One would do the right thing. Thank you. This one knew Walking One would do the right thing. Walking One knows how to visit the striking tree, touched the aetherite found in the domain of Touched Ones, and Walking One will soon be face to beard with Lord Ramuh. These ones will listen to the forest's voices for news of Walking One's victory. Bye-bye. So, obviously we need to reattune to the Sylphland's aetherite, which is all the way over there. Yeah, I thought it was going to spot me. Sylphland's aetherite. The striking tree, extreme now accessible. And obviously I will do that on my own at some other time. And so I will probably, as you can see, my ninja's at level 58, my paladin's at level 59. I will probably use Samurai until it's around level 58 as well, or 55, and then I'll probably use the White Mage. And then, once I've gone through Red Mage, and then Marauder, and then probably Arcanist, because I like Scholar for healing better than I do White Mage, but some of the White Mage stuff I'm still getting used to, as quite a few of the skills are different than Scholar, and some of the early ones are the same as Scholars, so just takes some getting used to. So I'm going to go ahead and teleport back to Camp Dragonhead. Once I'm out of combat, there we go. That was me being impatient. And so now I will do Snowcloak once I get back over to that area. And off we go. And I like this music. I guess it helps if you actually select the monster. I think we all went for the key there. Yay, for a new level! And so the only thing that's important about this boss to actually pay attention to is that it's going to use an ability that you need it to hit the thingies that I can't actually remember what they're called. Those. The Spriggans. There we go. Now, this one, you want to kill as soon as possible. You want the Spriggans to be left alone so that they turn into snowballs, so that when this guy starts casting a large range AO ability, it'll cancel it, basically. Provided you knock the snowball towards him. So as you can see, they turn into snowballs. So basically the only thing to note of this is that there's a bunch of ads kind of in the area. And then on that wall, as soon as that one's dead, you'll see the Snowcloaks. And the thing to note with this coming up area is that you'll see the casting people. So this guy here, you want to interrupt that so that he doesn't turn into a beastie of sorts. And so the final boss is right behind this door. And it's also one of my favorite mounts, because you can get a mount of this in the gold saucer. I think there's also a minion of it as well. Apparently everybody else is celebrating. So one thing important to note is that there'll be a lunar howl ability. You want to stand behind the ice crystal that's going to be there. You also want to avoid those crystals. So that's what you're going to want to be standing behind after... Come on. Because they'll blow up like that, but there will be one behind, and that's the one you want to stand behind when Fenrir here does his lunar howl. So, you have to watch which crystal is still around, and you see the lunar cry. That one over there is where you want to stand behind. Ta-da! A new recruitment has arrived. New enlistment papers in the barracks.
The tales do not do you justice, warrior of light. Yes, I know who you are, and you know who I am.
Well, kind of.
I was given the name Izel, but I earned the name Iceheart.
Okay, so now we know who you are.
This endless cycle of hatred, of bloodshed, of sorrow. You would see it continue, O noble warrior of light. I would not. I will not. I will bring an end to this war between dragon and man, no matter the cost. In time, you will come to understand that what we do for the greater good. For Eorzea, for Hydaelyn.
Well, okay then. So I guess what she says is that what they do is for Hydaelyn? Huh? What? Oh. Though I did not doubt that you would return, I am nonetheless relieved to see my judgment validated. Stellar Temple Knight. Even knowing what to look for, it's easy to miss, and the covering of ice doesn't take long to reform either. How many more tunnels like this must there be in Snowcloak? Come to think of it, how many there might be throughout Courseless? 'Tis a blessing you are still with us. Commander Levier took to pacing in your absence. Not surprising nonetheless. You, sir. You, Hase. Is it finished? Does that mean we leave this godforsaken place? I can't feel my... forgive me. I should not keep you from Commander Levier. Well, to be fair, I talked to you first. That took longer than I expected. What news, Celebrian? Well, I had a little visit at the end there. So, Iceheart is but a pseudonym? Nah, not that it matters. That she managed to escape is regrettable, but from your description of that beast, you did well to come as close as you did. In any case, now that you have cleared a path, the Temple Knights can begin to survey the tunnels in earnest. Mayhap they will even find a route past the ice wall. Wouldn't that do wonders for their fight against the heretics? The Crystal Braves would certainly share the credit for it too. 12 be praised, Celebrian. We may yet turn this situation to our advantage. Assuming we stop Iceheart before she summons Shiva, of course. Needless to say, our fellow Scions have not been idle. Minfilia and Urianger have been busy perusing the archives of House Vortemps, gathering what information they can on Shiva. Which reminds me, if you were intending to trudge back to Camp Dragonhead to report on the day's events, don't. The antecedent should be here any minute. I can only assume some people enjoy subjecting themselves to this cold. Brr. He says while I shiver in my own actual room. It's sort of spring-ish type here. Anyway. Though not given to small talk, Elfino can think of no better way to pass the time until Minfilia arrives. Sure, she prepares and wears a coat. Antecedent, you come to us straight from the archives of House Vortemps. I trust your time there proved fruitful. But that it had. Urianger and I scoured countless texts, but what we found was of questionable veracity. Accounts of Shiva's life and deeds are sparse and contradictory, only agreeing upon one point. She laid down with a dragon. the gravest of all sins according to Ishgardian faith. Yet in the eyes of Iceheart's followers, this was a holy act, the blessed union of man and dragon. How such a thing could even be possible is quite another question. Suffice it to say, I very much doubt that we will find a yet useful answer in the archives of House Forton. Much knowledge has been lost over the centuries, though in this case, one wonders if it is by circumstance or design. You say that Iceheart took a moment to plead her case prior to escaping, did you not? Viewed without prejudice, most would agree that bringing an end to an endless war serves the greater good. I think Sir Emmerich might take issue with her methods. I do not care if a few stragglers manage to escape. Until the sappers confirm that a tunnel is safe, the men are not to search it. Yes, Lord Commander. You pursue your foes with less zeal than I had expected, Sir Emmerich. Lest you misunderstand, I do not deny that our enemy has given us good reason to be prudent. I merely meant, you being a man of faith, that I had expected a certain single-mindedness. After all, was it not by the will of Halone that your ancestors came to this land, when they took up arms against the Dravanians? What would they have done in your position, I wonder? There are those who believe that faith is reenaction of free will, that unquestioning devotion is required of all who would live a life in service to the Fury. Such righteous fervor may well serve a knight on the front line, less so a leader of men. We are all at liberty to interpret the scriptures as we will. I choose to believe that the Fury would value the lives of her followers over the deaths of her enemies. But I would not presume to speak for the Knights of Eld. It was a different time, nay, a different era. The scripture tells us only so much. Would that it told us more. That man is awfully pragmatic for a servant of the Holy See. A welcome trait at the negotiating table, to be sure. Less so when one's enemies are making ready to harness the power of a god. Mayhap he does not truly believe that Iceheart's plan can succeed. Truth be told, I too remain somewhat skeptical. Shiva was real, a living, breathing woman. Of that there can be no doubt. In this respect, she differs from every other figure to have been summoned, each of whom was worshipped as a god. The sole exception being good King Mughal-Mox XII, a myth made manifest in response to the fervent supplications of the Mughalsguard. Saint Shiva may differ, but what of the heretics? They are a tribe of outcasts at war with the mighty nation, who yearn for the resurrection of the one who embodies their beliefs. If that is not placing one's faith in a higher power, then what is? Crystals and conviction, Manvilia. They have them both in abundance. Crystal Braves, that's what they're called. Can that truly be all that is required? Given what I've seen, I would say yes. Perhaps. And somewhat more. My survey team has concluded a preliminary analysis of the aetheryte Iceheart used to escape. They believe that she teleported to another aetheryte, somewhere not far to the west. Despite the apparent proximity of the second aetheryte, however, they have been wholly unable to detect its presence directly. Unless Iceheart has some means to mask its signal, I can only presume she had it destroyed to prevent us from following her. Without the means to teleport as she did, we have no choice but to search for an alternate route. Most likely a tunnel, assuming one exists. But Let us not give up on teleportation just yet. One of our colleagues in Charlian may be able to assist us. I pray that you are right. I dare not think how long it will take us to survey the entire tunnel system. That sounds like a fun job. Go through tunnel after tunnel after tunnel in a very, very, very cold climb. Sarcasm. While Minpilia looks into our Aetheryte problem, I would like to request your assistance with another matter. The third unit is currently tracking the remnants of the heretic force which attacked us. However, the search goes poorly despite our numbers. Corethus is vast and Iceheart's followers know the terrain better than we. Your knowledge of this region may serve to hasten the process. The sooner we capture Iceheart's followers, the sooner we can press them for their leader's whereabouts. Also, though it is admittedly a selfish request, I feel that my braves would benefit immensely from working alongside you. While we have our share of veterans, we also have more than a few less experienced recruits, many of whom look up to you, in case you were not aware. I guess I'm gonna rally morale. Good. I knew you would understand. Yu Yu Hase can apprise you of the details. When the task is complete, come and find me at the observatorium. Captain Ilbert and I are meeting there to discuss the latest developments in his investigation. The Temple Knight shall hold Snowcloak in her absence. Let us leave them to their work. Ours is more pressing. The network of tunnels throughout Snowcloak is extensive. A full survey will take time. 'Tis not a matter of training your eyes, I fear. Without foreknowledge or serendipity, we will never find every tunnel. The very land conspires against us. The broken ice ever reformed to conceal the entrances. Harry the enemy when he is entrenched. Retreat from his advance and attack his flanks when he withdraws. Aye, Iceheart is no fool. Indeedly-do. There you are, Celebrian. Commander Levier instructed me to wait for you. Your assistance is most welcome, believe me. Most of the Third hail from Ul'dah, and for a man accustomed to the feel of sand beneath his boots, the crunch of snow can be rather disconcerting. But to the matter at hand. Nearly a moment ago I received word that the heretics we seek have been spotted making for Danifin Pass. My braves are already in pursuit, and I should be grateful if you would join them. I myself shall be taking part in the hunt. Never let it be said that I do not earn my coin. So, we need to head over that way. Third unit brave. Those balls! My ankle is on fire! Caught my boot on a rock or something and twisted it as I fell. The others went on ahead through Danifin Pass. Hurry and you might catch up. If you aren't sure where to go, look for tracks. This snow is fresh, so they shouldn't be hard to find. He says as it's blizzardy. So we need to go down that way. Oh, there we go. Fresh prints. The tracks lead southeast. I guess over that way. I'm guessing where the random brave is. Third unit brave. Scion, what are you doing here? The heretics? I am not sure. There was a great scale beast and cough. Yuyase, I think he went east on his own. The heretics split up, so we did too. And I guess we need to head over this way. To the purpleness. Yu Hase. The hateful harrier. And a hateful harrier. Yu Hase. How embarrassing. I was so intent on following the heretics' tracks that I almost failed to notice that they had double back. Almost, mind you. One tried to sneak up behind me and got a knife in his gut, knife in the gut for his troubles. I thought myself alone, so I started searching the dead man's knapsack for anything of interest, and lo and behold, before his friends found me, I came upon this. Withdraw in groups of 3 or less to the observatorium. Give the signal and wait. A merchant will be watching, be late, and be left for dead. Speaks for itself, does it not? They can't possibly mean to rendezvous inside the place, so we should restrict our searching to the surrounding areas. Let me rephrase that. You should restrict your search to the wilderness around the observatorium. I will need more than a moment's rest to recover from these wounds. And so I guess we're headed to the observatorium. Just this way. Suspicious Coerthan. I am through with listening to your excuses. We leave, now. How? The woods are crawling with those bluecoats, and the knights are searching every wagon that passes through the gates. Hello there. Well, stay with her then if you think you'll fare any better. Now, there's no need for that. There are places like this in my homeland. Sacred snow-capped peaks where blood must not be shed. Yet your lands ever thirst for the blood of the fallen. By your deeds it has drunk deep. No, I have done no wrong. None but meet in secret with heretics. Deny it all you will, we shall have the truth from you yet. Inquisitors are not the only ones who skilled in the art of interrogation. Darn it all! Woe is you! Fancy meeting you here, Celebrian. I presume your work with the Third brought you hither? What a tangled web. Lest you wonder, we came not for the heretics, but for the merchant who has been conspiring with them. He came to our attention during the course of our investigation into the Ivy. If beggars belief, I know, but it seems our favorite Garlean spy may have been providing assistance to Iceheart. Were it not for the efforts of Lady Yugiri and her shinobi, we might never have discovered this connection. Master Alphino is too kind. I fear my people and I have done little to aid your search for the spy. He longs to strike back against the Empire and weaken their influence in this land, to prevent the tragedy which befell Doma from reoccurring. The days ahead and the work they promise will require a very particular set of skills which I am fortunate enough to possess. If you will allow it, I would accompany you until the investigation is complete. That is a most generous offer, Lady Yugiri, and one which I gladly accept. Thank you. Though I may disappear for a time, know that I shall never be far, and shall always be watching. Dun dun dun. A comforting thought. Come, Celebrian, let us wait inside for Captain Ilbert to return and deliver his report. And obviously we need to head in without getting caught onto things. I'm gonna zoom in a little and I think we need to... Nope, not here. No, it's definitely this way. Oh, he's over there. Yeesh. Open your spectacles. Ay ay ay. Alphino. Captain Ilbert seems confident that the merchant's resolve could swiftly crumble when pressed. If so, we should have new information ere long. As to whether it will bring us any closer to learning the Ivy's identity, I would rather not say. Given our adversary's cunning, I shall consider us fortunate if we are spared another wild dodo chase. Gods know we have more than enough to occupy our time as it is. If only. And here we have the option of this. And this. And this. It's kind of interesting. And also kind of weird. I do kind of like that, though. We'll probably go for that one. Anyway, Alphino is eager to hear Ilbridge's report on the Ivy. Captain Ilberd, your report, if you will. Aye, Commander. Firstly, with regard to the heretic we captured, I regret to say that the man could tell us naught that we did not already know of Shiva. We have since handed him over to the Ishgardian authorities. Henceforth, the Holy See will pursue the matter independently. Our inquiries concerning the Ivy, however, have proven more fruitful. We have ascertained the channel by which the heretics acquired their information on the shipment routes. Go on. You will recall the flame we first identified as being in the Ivy's employ. From him we were able to trace a trail of conspirators, each taking us closer to his master. Alas, the trail came to an abrupt end. Hearing that the investigation had been compromised, we took the necessary steps of detaining all suspected of conspiracy. There were 5 on our list, including a flame stationed at Revenant's Toll. A man's primary duty was to keep an inventory of donations from abroad, the particulars of which he would share with benefactors, thereby ensuring that needs did not go unfulfilled. By virtue of his role, he was privy to the details of all shipments bound for the settlement. Needless to say, that included those originating from House Raton. He knew the precise route the caravan would take, and he sold that information to a merchant. I think I can guess which one. None other. With a little encouragement, he soon confessed to knowing of aiding and abetting the heretics. Well, that is one mystery solved at least, but what of the Ivy? Are we any closer to prizing off his mask? I dare say we are, Commander. Our relentless pursuit has forced him to commit a grave error. Despite a desperate bid to cover his tracks, the Ivy resorted to exercising certain administrative powers available only to high-ranking members of the Immortal Flames. If you consider that, then our investigation is known to barely a handful of them. The field of suspect is greatly narrowed. You mean to say that the agent is among Raban's innermost circle? Someone who has been with him since the Immortal Flames' establishment? 'Tis the most plausible explanation. The infiltration likely occurred during the company's founding, with the groundwork for act being laid beforehand. To slip into a position of authority unremarked, and remain above suspicion all these years. Aye, I too was surprised, though I really should not have been. Of the 3 grand companies, Uldaz was ever the more vulnerable to infiltration. Both Limsa and Gridania had long-standing army forces that lent themselves well to the formation of the Maelstrom and the Order of the Twin Adder, and to all intents and purposes, it was the same people, loyal ones, mind, under the same leadership, only the banner was different. Not so the Flames. Uldaz militarism was made of disparate orders, most of which were glorified mercenary companies that answered only to their own paymasters. Hardly an ideal environment to which to establish something as high-minded as a grand company. The difficulties Raban faced when founding the Immortal Flames are well known. Even after he had convinced his fellow syndicate members to share the cost, there remained a small matter of finding enough bodies to fill the ranks. Indeed. And given the pressing nature of the Imperial threat, that meant recruiting every passing sellsword. But amidst the chaos of its founding, it would have been child's play to infiltrate the company. A good deal easier than the now, aye. The Immortal Flames have ever been caught between conflicting interests, the public and the private. Though the monetarists ultimately agreed to support the organization's founding, it was not out of charity that they did so. They is simply self-preservation. Had Nell Van Durness' admissions been any less apocalyptic, you may be sure that they would never have risked supplying Raban with an army. 'Tis but a wonder they did not attempt to extinguish the flames the moment the danger had passed. Ahem. Returning to the present. Even as we speak, our Doman allies are shadowing several high-ranking flames, any one of whom could be the Ivy. Desiring to deal a blow against the Empire, the refugees were eager to lend us their aid. I expect to hear from them ere long. Very good. Try continue your investigation with the first. Meanwhile, have the second attend to the unrest. The third can join the fourth in inspecting crystal shipments. If they notice anything unusual, I want to know about it. If Shiva is summoned in like manner to the other primals, the heretics will be looking for further supplies. Understood, Commander. I shall send word to Sir Emmerich, informing him of our success in identifying the heretics' abettors. Hopefully the information will be of some use to the Ishgardians. It is time, Commander. Yes, I am aware. An emergency council of the Alliance leadership has been called. There have been developments in Garlemald, it would seem. As commander of the Crystal Braves, my presence has been requested. I would have you accompany me, Celebrian. As the realm's stoutest champion, 'tis only meet that you be present for the discussion. Oh, and the antecedent has already given her consent, lest you worry. Ilberd. Upon the honor of the Crystal Braves, I swear that I shall not rest until the Ivy is unmasked and in chains. Alphino. Like me and you are doubtless eager to conclude our business with Iceheart, but until another path to her sanctum is found, she will remain beyond our reach. Menphilia and the Archons are sparing no effort to secure an alternate route. Until such time as they succeed, I suggest we give some thought to the realm's other problems. I shall go on ahead to Gridania in readiness for the coming council. Meet me in Nofika's altar, and we shall make our way to the Lotus Stand together. So, I guess we are headed to the Black Shroud. Alrighty, and we just need to head right here, Ilberd. Unlike Ruban, politics is not my cup of tea. While you and the commander attend the council, I will attend to some business of my own. Alphino. My thanks for coming, Celebrian. When you are ready, speak with the conjurer yonder. She will show us to the Lotus Stand. Silent Conjurer. The Alliance leaders awaits you at the Lotus Stand. Will you be joining them now? Yep.
Change has come to the Garlean Empire, and we must discuss the implications.
The rumors are true, then? The War of Succession is ended?
It is. A new emperor reigns in Garlemald.
Who?
The birth and all too rapid expansion of the Garlean Empire is commonly attributed to the strategic brilliance of Solus Zosgalvis, yet he did not rule alone. Several members of the royal household also distinguished themselves during his reign. Nevertheless, it was the eldest son who stood to inherit the throne, until his most untimely passing.
I thought us fortunate when I learned that the Emperor had died without naming a successor.
Would that the Garlean Empire had died with him.
Twas the grandson and his uncle who had the strongest claims, was it not?
Indeed, yet claims count for little without the power to assert them. High Legatus Varus Ye Galvus is a respected military leader. Not so his uncle.
So young Varus has torn the crown from his uncle's grasp and taken his place at the head of the Empire.
Given the troubled nature of his succession, the new emperor will require time to seal his grip on power. Yet have no doubt but that he shall, for there are none left with strength enough to oppose him.
Since the success of Operation Archon, the remnants of the 14th Legion and the forces occupying Alamigo have done naught but fortify their positions. But you can be sure they'll be ready to march on us again, if their Emperor gives the word.
When, not if. They say this Varus was so set upon Eorzean annexation that he spoke out against the Meteor Project.
Plainly, the new emperor's intentions are of great concern to us all. I propose that we set aside the Cartno dispute for the present, and discuss what measures the Alliance might take to prepare for a resumption of hostilities with Garlemald. Moreover, I move that we re-examine the question of how our former allies in Ishgard might be persuaded to retake their place at our side. Could Eorzea but stand as one, 'twould deal a grave blow to our enemies' ambitions.
Well, I suppose we should be grateful that they have finally acknowledged the inevitability of Imperial attack. Who knows? They may even do something about it. If only the leaders of Ishgard would follow their example and stop hiding behind their gates, praying for the coming storm to pass them by. But that is a discussion for another time. At present, I am more concerned by the fact that the Alliance's mooted preparations will be made known to the Garleans many moons before their coming. So long as the ivy eludes our grasp, no secret is safe.
And so now we need to speak with Elfino. Elfino, it will not have escaped your notice that the nations of Eorzea are no nearer to being of one purpose, despite their protestations to the contrary. Plainly, the threat of a resurgent Garlemald is not enough to stir them, and the reason for this? Deep-rooted mistrust amongst the citizenry. The nations as leaders can come to all the understandings they like, but their unity means little unless to the common folk. Take the Limsons, for instance. Though Admiral Mirlwib outlawed piracy over a decade ago, foreigners still picture the nation as a haven for grog-swilling, wooden-legged cutthroats. And likewise, Gridanians are marked as hermits who talk to the trees, and the Uldons scorned as swindlers who worship coin. Not that such sentiments are entirely without grounds, of course. Take that pillar of Uldon society, Telegi Adelaji, for example. But that is beside the point. The fact is that people are wary of outsiders, whether they have cause to be or not. On that basis, one could argue that the conflict at Cartano is a necessary evil. Each nation has its own warmongering faction that advocates the acquisition of Omega. In order to placate them, we present them something resembling warfare and thereby curb their appetite for full-scale conflict. But enough idle musing. Let us speak of more pressing matters. The Ivy. Since we spoke at the observatorium, Captain Ilbred has further shortened his list of suspects. By happy coincidence, the one he deems the most likely candidate is lately come to Gridania. The hunt nears its end, Celebrian. All that remains is to corner our quarry. Seek out Ilbred near the Adder's Nest. He will give you the particulars. Should there be any developments in Kawarthus, you will be sure that I will send word without delay. In the meantime, I wish you success in apprehending the Ivy. Alrighty, so now we're gonna head to there. I guess I don't need to teleport anywhere. It's gonna be just as close in either direction. So, things are coming to an interesting turn with both Garlemald and closing in on this fabled, well not fabled, this Ivy. Ilbred. My thanks for coming, Scion. Doubtless the commander has informed you, but we have unmasked the Ivy. From this point on, we must proceed with extreme caution. And yoink. Ilbred. Ilbred is convinced that he has discovered the Ivy's identity and is preparing to move against the Garlean spy. Listen well. The spy we have been seeking all this time is none other than Flame Marshal Iliane Royale, Rubon's second-in-command. Prior to joining the Immortal Flame, she was a mercenary of no small renown. They say her skill with a polearm had to be seen to be believed. Of Ishgardian birth, she is the highest-ranked foreigner in the Immortal Flames, barring the Flame General himself, of course. When he formed the Grand Company, Rubon chose people based on their worth. Once they hailed was of no interest. The monetarists saw things differently, however. Having funded the enterprise, they reserved the right to reject candidates nominated for high-ranking positions. And 'twas no secret that they did not find favor in foreigners, Ishgardians especially after the way the Holy See forsook the alliance. Yet the monetarists did not raise so much as a murmur of protest when Royale was appointed to her post. Passing strange, is it not? Could it be that the Ivy has some hold over the monetarists? But these revelations are secondary to our current mission. Of foremost interest to us is Royale's presence here now. As you may be aware, it is the duty of the Flame Marshal to command the Immortal Flames in the absence of the Flame General. While Rubon attended the Council of Alliance leaders, she should have remained in the Hall of Flames. The woman has no business being in Gridania, yet here she is nonetheless. On some pretense. She is up to something, mark my words. Even as we speak, I have a dozen men trawling the Flames' records for evidence of Royale's guilt. But if we can't catch her red-handed, we shall have all the proof we need. Which brings me to the plan. I have people watching the city gates, the airship landing and the docks, every point of egress. She cannot leave without her knowledge. All that remains is to shadow her until she betrays her true purpose. Can I rely upon your eye, Scion? You have my thanks. Let us go then, and take care not to alert our quarry. And so Ilbred. Royale is heading to the direction of Blue Badger Gate. With me, Scion. So Royale has entered the Carlian canopy, meeting someone perchance? Or could it be that she means to aboard an airship? Pray look for her within. If she's not on the upper floor, try the landing area below. A friend of mine is stationed there, and she may have seen something. Afimi is her name. I shall remain here in case Royale appears. And so I guess we will take a look-see around. I see nobody. So, must be down here or outside somewhere. And apparently not, because Femi is here. Slabrian Saragon, such an unexpected pleasure. What brings you here? Ahem. A social visit, you say? How pleasant. No, she didn't come this way. I've noted every passenger and none bore any resemblance. Well, don't let me keep me. Ilbert. Nowhere to be seen, you say? And you are sure she did not board an airship? Humph. She did not come back out either. Where in the seven hells could she have gone? The Roost! How could I forget? Malgar, strike me down for a fool. I will search the premises. While I do that, I need you to speak with the men I posted at the 3 main gates in the pier. Find out whether there has been any suspicious activity, and then meet me at the Aetheryte Plaza. Okay. So, we need to speak with the guards over there. And over there. And over there. So we'll obviously start with here. 2nd Unit Brave. Nothing to report at this gate, milady. No one resembling the suspect has been here, milady. 2nd Unit Brave. No, madame, the suspect did not come this way. Given how little traffic passes through the gate, I would have noticed if she tried to slip by. Unless, of course, you fell asleep because it's so boring. So, we just need to check past here, and then head to the Aetheryte Plaza. Second Unit Brave. The suspect? Haven't seen her. Must check with one of the others. Dude. Thanks for your help. And because we're lazy, we're just going to use this Aetheryte shard and teleport to the Aetheryte Plaza. That's not lazy, that's being resourceful. Right? Right. And so... Oh. I wasn't done. I thought he said there was only 3 of them. Or did he even say anything? Oh well. My resourcefulness was being a little proactive because I hadn't finished talking to all the guards yet. 2nd Unit Brave. No, madame. A few Ellison women did leave on the last ferry, but none of them matched the suspect's description. Either she wore a disguise, or were just blind bats. Now to the Gridonian Aetheryte Plaza. And Ildred is... Where? Oh, here he is. It was just slow loading. Well, have there been any sightings? Darn it all. I turned the roost upside down, but Roelle was nowhere to be found. The innkeeper told me that she had availed herself of a room, but no one saw her leave. She has donned some manner of disguise. Of that there can be no doubt. But as to where she has gone... Greetings, good sir. Would I interest you in some Montoy tonic? A cup a day imbues a man with great vigor, if you take my meaning. Perhaps another time, friend. Wait. That necklace. You are a shinobi of Doma. The woman you seek has left Gridania by way of West Shore Pier. She was attired as a merchant, but these eyes are not so easily deceived. You may wish to take your search to the East Shroud. Rest assured that we shall continue to support you from the shadows. Thank the 12 for the Domans. Were it not for their unique talents, Royale would have disappeared without a trace. And so we have the options of this, and this, and this. That looks interesting. We'll go with this one, because it looked the less goofy. I originally took the Daystar one, but I don't so much like it anymore. That is cute. Whatever that is. What is that? Page 63. Huh. Anyway, Ilberd. Ilberd is eager to resume the pursuit of Roel. Our hunt leads us to the East Shroud, Scion. I suggest we follow Royale's example and take the ferry from West Shore Pier. You'll doubtless wish to make certain preparations. See to them while I go on ahead. I shall wait for you at Sweet Bloom Pier. And so, of course, that means we need to head over there. And I'm just gonna take the thing that he told me to take. Which is over here. Sweet Bloom Pier. I happen to blah blah blah. Yes. And so we need to speak with Ilberd here. This way, my friends. Hello, you Geary. Your quarry makes for the Hawthorn hut. Very good. We must make haste. A moment, Captain. There is another matter which requires your attention, and most urgently, I fear. What is it? A short while ago, an Imperial squadron was observing departing Castor Morions. They march at speed for the South Shroud. So they have decided to take action. Indeed, they seek to destroy the jamming device. An explanation is in order. You must be aware that the Garleans have their own methods of communicating over great distances, while our ingenious friends at Garland Ironworks have provided us with devices which disrupt these communications. We have installed them around the city-states. In so doing, we have made it difficult for Imperial agents to correspond with their masters. Of course, we did not expect the Garleans to remain silent. If they wished to communicate, they would find a way, be it via covert correspondence or secret meetings. Needless to say, we hoped they would risk the latter, and Roel has not disappointed us. As a well-known face in the Immortal Flames, she cannot move about Thanalan without being recognized. It would only be a matter of time before someone saw through her disguise. 'Tis for this reason, I believe, that she has chosen the Black Shroud for her clandestine meeting. The Ellison are a common sight here, and her comings and goings are not like to turn any heads. However, were the jamming devices to be rendered inoperative, Roel would no longer need to meet her masters in person, and their planned rendezvous would almost certainly be called off. And we cannot have that. It would deprive us of the opportunity to secure damning evidence against her, which is the very least we need if we're to convict someone of her standing. All rests upon the continued operation of the jamming device. It must needs be protected. If you could attend to this task, my shinobi and I will continue to observe Roel. Very well. Scion, I would have you intercept the Garleans while my men move to cut off their retreat. None must escape. Several of my countrymen have already taken up positions in the South Shroud. Seek out the shinobi at Quarry Mill and he will apprise you of the situation. Yugiri. Pray seek out the shinobi at Cornmeal. He will apprise you of the situation. Make haste and find these Garleans. I will send my men to cut off the retreat. And so we must needs go to the quarry mill and find the Domin, who is in disguise, most likely. And so, taking a look-see around up top, I do not see anything. So, they're either down here somewhere or they're well hidden from my sight. But we'll take a gander around. Because I can't remember where they are. I think they're down there. Oh, no. We found them. Hello, you again. We meet again, my friend. I have no moon to a tonic to offer this time, I'm afraid. As I believe you know, Imperial forces are in the South Shroud on a mission to destroy the jamming device. We must see to it that they do not succeed. So, the Crystal Braves will cut off the retreat. Very well. My countrymen and I shall attend to the soldiers. Their infernal machines we leave in your capable hands. At present, the Garleans are in the vicinity of Amdapor Keep. Let us head there at once. And so we need to head over there. You sense a hostile presence. And now to head over there. A lot of fallen Garleans, some Domins. Shinobi. That was most impressive showing, that was our most impressive showing, my friend. As you see, we too have not been idle. The Ivy will receive no warning of our coming. Shinobi. The Shinobi seems eager to send you on your way. Now that the jamming device is no longer at risk, you may safely return to your return to your hunt. Pray rejoin Lady Yugiri. She awaits you at the Hawthorn Hut. I shall remain here and have a few words with this sorry lot. Nothing serious, I assure you. Just a spot of small talk. I shall remain here, blah blah blah. You're saying the same thing. Okay, and we'll return to the Hawthorn Hut. And so we need to head over here. And speak with Yugiri. I am given to understand the mission was a success. Not a single Imperial soldier made it to our position. Thorough work as always, Scion. By way of reward, we can now turn our attention to Royal once more. What news, Lady Yugiri? My people report that she has departed for the Bramble Patch. So she means to go ahead with the meeting. Excellent. It is time to close the net around her. My countrymen and I shall lie in wait in the shadows. Tread warily, my friends. And so we need to head over there. See, isn't it so much easier to navigate around here when it's daytime? Yugiri. Just beyond, Raoul is in conversation with an individual clad in the manner of an adventurer. An imperial intermediary, no doubt. This is it, with me. Flying Marshal Eileen Royale, you are under arrest for treason and espionage. You were followed, you bloody fool. Damnation. You are unarmed, my lady, and scarcely garbed for battle, but if you wish to fight, you are welcome to try. What is the meaning of this, Captain? Would you arrest me for strolling in the Twelveswood? When last I looked, that was no crime. Neither was conversing with passing strangers. You would feign ignorance, then? Very well. If you think of something to say, there will be plenty of time to say it later. Now come quietly, or I shall make you wish you had. I will offer you no struggle. After all, I have naught to hide. That seemed too easy. Anybody else agree with me? Yugiri. Even a warrior of royals and renown could not have hoped to escape by force. Despite her claims, her surrender does not bespeak innocence, but an awareness that her position is untenable. With the ivy thus uprooted, it is to be hoped that the tendrils she entwined around the immortal flames will gradually wither and die. Mayhap then the people of Ul'dah will have the grand company they deserve. But let us speak of the present. If I may ask, what will you do now, Celebrian? So the Scions seek a way into Iceheart's sanctum. Then I dare say you are eager to return to the Rising Stones. Pray do not let me keep you. Fear not, my countrymen and I shall tend to the aftermath. You need not waste your talents here. And speaking of talents, you have been training in the art of the shinobi, have you not? The change in your bearing is quite evident to me, at least. I look forward to seeing you in action. Till next time, my friend. Huh. That was kind of cool. I've never had that little bit before because I was never a ninja at that point in the storyline. So, cool. It's too bad I wasn't a shinobi at the time. Or ninja. Or shinobi. Same difference. And thusly, we will head into here and speak with Min Pilhia. And looks like people are in other places, so let's talk to them first. Lemon, ha 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 ha! Rousing tale of a comrade's valor. Truly, we are fortunate to count Lady Yugiri a friend. Yes, but Yugiri, you're missing the point. The individual does not matter. It was a team effort, and I was the one who... Yugiri. Thinker's tales of Lady Yugiri almost beggar belief. My heart is fair fit to burst from admiration. Somebody jealous. Thancred. Papalamo. She cannot seriously be considering it. If as a street performer should be one's last resort, not their first. Obviously he's talking about Tataru, who is currently juggling. Tataru. Steady? Steady? Not bad, eh? With a little more practice, I could earn a fortune at the Ruby Road Exchange. Ishtola. Tataru has grown beyond childish fantasies of becoming a songstress. Now she aspires to be a legendary street performer. Okay. Oh dear. Ari Boulder. Whoo! Ha! Erg! I cannot go on much longer. Ida. Mwahaha! I could do this all day. ILLDAY. Lieutenant. Strength Ori. On your honor as a scion, I forbid you to surrender. Listen, I must admit, this exercise of yours surely never fails to amuse me. While its movements appear comical, it does seem to be having the desired effect. Delaware. It's a battle of wills, a struggle for supremacy. Our fighting styles may differ, but this unyielding spirit is the same in warriors the world over. And I think that's everybody, so talk to Minfilia. And depending on what it is, it's probably the last bit that we'll do in this video. Entrance to the Solar. It's probably a cutscene. Minfilia. Welcome back, Celebrian. I understand that Elfino has had a task for you. May I ask what it was? Charges of treason and espionage against Eileen Royale. I can scarce believe it. Could there not have been some manner of misunderstanding? No, it avails us not to dwell on it. Whatever the truth may be, we must trust to the authorities to uncover it. Let us speak of another matter. I am pleased to report that we have made progress in our efforts to find a way into Iceheart's sanctum. And belts that we don't need, so link. I guess we'll talk to Minfilia. Minfilia has never been one to hesitate when it comes to asking others for aid. As you may recall, Iceheart used the Aetheryte in the depths of Snowcloak to teleport a short distance to the west, most likely to a sanctuary of some description. It is there that we suspect she means to summon Shiva, using the crystals she stole from the house for Thompson. I clicked too fast again. Shiva using the crystals she stole from the house for Temp's caravan. The heretics believe that they are bringing about the second coming of their patron saint, but if, as we suspect, they mean to hold a summoning ritual of the kind employed by the beast tribes, it seems likely that the result will be something more akin to a primal. Suffice it to say, they must be stopped, and stop them we shall. But first, we must surmount the obstacle that Iceheart has placed in our path. Ordinarily, it would be a simple matter to tap into the established Aethernet and thereby follow our quarry. However, despite our best efforts, we have been unable to ascertain the position of the Aetheryte to which she teleported. Our prevailing theory is that she destroyed the second Aetheryte upon arrival, a reckless, desperate measure, but also an effective one. With discussing the matter at length with Urianger, we have concluded that we lack the expertise to develop a solution, which is why we have called upon the aid of one who does possess such expertise, a colleague of ours, who is currently en route to Revenant's Toll, from Charlian. She should be arriving within the hour, in fact. Since you are here, mayhap we could welcome her together. I am certain she would appreciate the gesture. Let us make our way to the northern gates and await her coming. But that is going to wait till the next video. And I guess I can't hop over the desk. Can I hop there? Can I sit? Can I sit? Oh, I can sit. Look at that. Nope, I'm not trying to be Minfilia. Or am I? Ha 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 ha. Anyway, that's it for this one. Thanks for watching.